Okay, what's up everyone? Yeah, Jay, the Mace user. Pretty poor at it, but I think there are some most definitely important things when it comes to Mace. So, to start, I'm gonna leave hitboxes off for this. Yeah, this is me. I'm Yaj. Should know by my username. It's my channel name. On Theobald the bot server. I'm here to show you my goofy keybinds for the 4 to 5-ish biggest mace techniques. One of them is kind of 2, so I mean, I guess there's that. We'll start with him not shielding, obviously. So yeah, keybinds. So the goofy part about all of it is I don't use normal stuff. X is my crouch, and I double bind W for my sprint. Otherwise, walking is normally. So, as far as that goes, actual keybinds. So, mouse button 5, the front button on the side is my hotbar slot 1. That's my firework / shield. Left controls another button on my mouse, which is why I don't have it for crouching, is a food slot. Button 4 is my wind charges, which is the back button on the side of the mouse. Tab is pearls, which is dangerous because I don't tab more than I'd like to admit. E is Windburst Mace, Q is Elytra, R is Breach Mace, left shift is Sword. Now, in this, it's easy because you don't have to shift click to put new items in your hotbar, but in actual servers, I use 1. And then Z for axe keybind. And then B for inventory. So, relevant keybinds, let's get it started. So, I will not talk while I'm actually doing the techniques because, like, the sound is annoying. Just see if you can hear me. Difficult. So yeah, let's start. Technique number 1, normal macing. You just oh, he's talking again. So yeah, you basically just windburst up, and then you just hit him with the mace. Let me turn this volume down, actually. Boop. Let's see if that's doable. Better, but not the best. So, actually, I'm just going to turn it back up then. So yeah, basically just wind charge up and then hit him with the mace. That's like not very advanced. That's like basic. So the first advance is sword swapping. Shift for the sword and then E and click at the same time to the demonstration time. Not that. Or that. Anyway, so that's pretty much what it looks like. But the big difference is not that. A normal mace does say 7 hearts, not 7 hearts, 7 damage, which is 3.5 hearts, I think. Call it 4. And then when you do it with a sword, that's not what I wanted to do. Still not what I wanted to do. Really? Yeah, there's that. And could pop them, depending on what armor they're wearing. But that's the gist. Basically, to do more damage than just a normal mace hit. So there's this. Versus so yeah, it's advanced people use it for doing damage at lower heights. So yeah, that's basic premise of technique number 1. Technique number 2, breach swapping. Basically the same thing, but just with your breach mace. So let's see. Without strength, a normal sword crit does 3 damage, heart and a half. A normal mace crit, which using the breach enchantment at full guard, is, what was that? 15 remaining, so 5 damage, which is 2.5 hearts. But if you attribute swap it and combine it does the damage of the sword 9 plus the of the breach, like the enchantment of the breach. And that is without strength. However, so if you were to pot strength, with how I have it configured, you can do well over 10 damage if you do it properly. Very important distinction, if you don't wait until your sword bar is full, you don't get the full damage of the breach swapping. And even if you do wait, it still doesn't do as much damage as if you jump crit at full bar. So yeah, that's major technique number 2. Number 3 is rocket macing. Now this is kind of the caveat where this is both 1 and 2. So there's like normal elytra macing where it's like you're just like flying around and then you see the dude, hit him with the elytra and the mace. And then there's rocket macing. Which is like the stuff Wembu does, and it's elytra macing with extra steps. Well, technically, extra steps. It makes aim a little bit more differently. I started with this before I realized they were 2 different techniques, so I just thought it was all elytra macing, which is why I say it's kind of 2 techniques. Anyways, the biggest versions of them are obviously just normal elytra macing like that. Rocket macing long, where you first boost away, turn around, and then boost back and hit him, and then you just do that in chains. And then there is short. Now, I find the second one to be better with flight duration 1 rockets, because you don't always have to boost back. Basically, I struggle with the timing to when as soon as I activate the elytra, I'm not ready to take it off by the time I'm at the thing, so I use wind burst, or flight duration 1 so I can actually boost back. Demonstration time. Pretty much that. So it's difficult to line up the timing of everything, and if you leave your elytra on to hit him. Oh wait, hold on. That was a terrible example. If you leave the elytra on and you try to hit him, it just doesn't mace. So you have to take it off, which is why sometimes it doesn't like to work. Like, that last time is what sometimes happens. And that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, for the last technique, I need to reset. Because it requires the shield. Stun slamming. This is by far, in my opinion, the most difficult. The way I figured to do it best is to be on your sword, attribute swap to your axe, break the shield, and then attribute swap to the mace to hit him. Like that. That's what I find the most consistent way to do it. It's not necessarily the easiest. What I used to do for the easiest was to boost up with, and then swap to the axe in hand, and then click and then swap. Which I mean still works, but it's not nearly as consistent when you're doing it fast. When you're not doing it fast, so yeah, demonstration time. But yeah, it's difficult because you have to time it not only time it perfectly, you can't click too late, so otherwise you just hit the shield, and you can't click too early, otherwise you just won't break it. So it has to be perfect. another few important distinctions. Starting, I double click. I don't butterfly click or use a double click button because I just find it easiest with the muscle memory I have done. So yeah. What the? I find it easier to do it with hitboxes. Even though it looks ugly. It's most satisfying when I hit those combos, but... And, anyways, next technique is doing it while elytra macing, which is where I figured out that it matters which type you're doing. If you're just normal elytra macing, it's somewhat easier to hit stun spikes because you're not moving as fast as you are when you're rocket macing. Granted, you are also moving slower than off falling, but it's at more of a goofy angle. So you do have to be mindful of that. Ah, sorry, I'm getting distracted. And then if you try and do it... I can't even do it with rocket racing. Which is why they're different. Yeah, I just simply cannot. Weirdly enough, when I do it with Windburst too, I can do it with the elytra slightly more consistently. But maybe not. Maybe just because it's a more upward trajectory. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, most satisfying is just sword cycle with Windburst 1. Yeah, those are pretty much the main techniques. You don't have to watch me train on a stupid bot. Let's actually play a server. Well, you won't be playing it. I will. So let's see. Nope. Nope. There we go. This is PvP Club. It's late, so I'm probably gonna be paired against a bunch of sweats. So let's prepare for that. I may or may not. Seriously? Really? Really? Anyways, yeah, this is the server where I use 1 for the sword. So, because I have to shoot quick. Enough of me talking. Enjoy the fight. Yeah, that was scary. I'm missing a few very keen techniques in order to be better. You have to pro grapple and charge moves more consistently, but I can do neither. So people always go higher. Oh, never mind. It's okay. Well, considering I played a low tier 3 earlier, not that bad. Maybe a break is what I needed. That hurt. What's with... What's with the ping? Oh no, I'm complaining about it. It's a ping. And when it comes as far as ping, 100 is playable. Once it starts getting into like multi-hundreds, is when I consider it bad. Yes. Whee! Never let your opponent do anything. Especially not just sit and enjoy his time. And here's the first problem. My Elytra runs out of durability before I like sometimes. And you're kind of just left to run around. Luckily, he missed that. Stun slam win! So yeah, that's normal Mace mode. Pretty chill. I do not recommend this. Do not upset the Crystal community by doing this. I play Mace Kit. Rude. I play Mace Kit in Crystal. I messed up my settings. I really messed up my settings. That hurt. Yeah, this is pretty much what every single game consists of. Me trolling with the Elytra, them trying to play their game, and then sometimes me blowing myself up. It's really fun. But I will say it's helping me really with getting coded. And you really, when you do this, you really can't be surprised when they just inevitably kill you, because this is like trying to play like soccer on an American football field in like the middle of Texas or something. So, I strongly recommend against doing what I'm doing right now, because then you end up doing no one favors. Really? Oh, come on, man. Just let me troll in peace. And he knows he can do nothing until I just decide to stop sitting up here. What is this? Other narrative voice UI. I don't even know what that does. I'm really surprised I survived that. Aw, this is so absolutely funny, bro. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just killed myself. Come on. I wouldn't expect you be... I wouldn't expect anything other than being banned. It's just trolling. It's really, that's all it is. But... ending last match on a serious note. Let's hope it's not a low tier 3. Considering I hit that first try. Maybe not. I had a feeling it wasn't gonna happen twice, but it almost did. Yeah, sometimes they can do nothing but watch as you descend from the sun, and they just crawl out of the way. Okay, ending on a win is probably the best case scenario. Yeah, we'll call it there. Yeah, Jay out. See you later, nerds.